What is up, you guys, and welcome back to another Madden 23 Lions franchise. To start off the week, we are playing against the Niners, and they are 0-3 on the season so far. If you're looking at the NFC North standings, we are currently in a three-way tie with the Packers and Vikings at 2-1. Again, our first loss came the week 1 of the season against the Colts. We've got a lot of different things to check off this week and go over because we've made a couple of adjustments to the practice squad and to the roster. So first things first, let's look at and see who this breakout DB is for to upgrade their dev trait. Looks like it's for Isaiah Simmons. He's actually been playing really well. He had 2 sacks for us already, and he's already superstar dev, so he could be getting up to X Factor, but we need to hold the Niners to less than 100 passing yards or force 3 turnovers or more, or get Isaiah Simmons a combination of interceptions, fumbles, tackles for losses, or sacks that is more than 3. That's going to be really hard to do, obviously. Breakout on defense, so there could be another breakout player. And I'm going to guess this is Christian Harris. It's not. It's Tariq. Okay, so he's talking about Patrick Surtain, how well he's playing. We're going to challenge him to get some interceptions here. And again, if we get 3 interceptions or 3 turnovers forced as a team, that also helps Isaiah Simmons. So we're going to see if we can do that with Tariq as well. But we need to have a really big performance on defense, and we definitely could do that. Our defense is still fantastic, despite the fact that Sean Hazelwood has not really come on at left outside linebacker and really had a huge impact yet for us as our first overall pick for this last draft. But here is a QB1 check-in. So we're approaching the first quarter, the end of the first quarter of the season. And what do you want to see more out of Jake Zimmer? And I'm going to say just building chemistry. Again, I don't want to put too much pressure on him as a second-year quarterback. Beat the 49ers and score 4 offensive touchdowns. So we're basically just trying to go and decimate the Niners. I mean, I understand that they're 0-3, but they want us to force 3 turnovers and get 4 offensive touchdowns, which might be a little bit unrealistic. But we're going to go over some of the roster changes next here. All right, so we made a change at tight end. We picked up John Fitzpatrick off of one of the practice squads. I believe he was on the Browns practice squad. He's a 24-year-old, 6'7" tight end with 80 speed, but he has really high run and pass block. So he's kind of like Colby Parkinson, but more focused on blocking than he is catching. And he's probably not going to see much PT. Again, he's 1 year younger than Parkinson, but Parkinson is a much higher overall. He's really just a bench tight end who's not going to see a whole lot of action. There was one more on here. All right, so at the corner spot, we went ahead and added Jalen Armour-Davis from Alabama onto our active roster, and he is replacing Jacoby Durant. And he is going to be our end-of-the-bench corner behind Rashad Wildgoose. But he has a lot of things I like about him. He is very fast. He's 6'1". And in another franchise I had like back in the past, he was really good as like a high 60 overall player. And again, he's not going to see PT, but I just like him a lot as a player. And lastly, we've updated our practice squad, which is probably not the most glamorous thing to be looking at. But Stephen Murphy is still on the practice squad. He's our highest overall player on the practice squad. And then we got a couple of people we added. Jacoby Durant was moved down to the practice squad. And some of our DTs, like Elijah Garcia, was moved down to the practice squad. We re-picked up Darrell Graham off of somebody else's practice squad. Actually, he was dropped to free agency and we picked him up. So he's back on the team on the practice squad. Again, we drafted him this season. And then we also added 2 interesting players. So Tyree Harden is a right outside linebacker out of UW, and he's got 86 speed, only 6 feet tall. Kind of an interesting player. And then Ty Gaffney is another interesting player. So he actually was originally a safety, but he's way too slow to be playing safety, so I moved him over to linebacker, which lowered his overall to a 57. But he's only 22 years old. Want to see if he can develop at all on the practice squad and see if he can develop into an interesting player. He does have very high hit power. He's got decent zone coverage and good tackling, I think. So that's kind of what I look at for a lot of my linebackers and safeties. But we're going to go ahead and move on to re-signing players. So first, we have a lot of O-linemen and offensive players that we need to focus on re-signing. Honestly, yeah, we have a lot of more like veteran talent. And then obviously, we already kind of talked about Tariq needing to be re-signed because we added him as a franchise tag this last season. And we need to figure out a way to get him on a contract. And one of those things is going to be, changing the scheme potentially to kind of boost his interest in re-signing a little bit more. But Right now, we got a couple of important players like Ramondre as well, and some of our tackles, our center, our guard, and Juszczyk as well. But right now we have 100 mil in cap space almost, but we're going to see what things are looking like. We don't need to worry about re-signing right now. Adam Hearns is starting for the Niners. That's an interesting development because it was Trey Lance at one point. So the Niners have Trey Lance on the team, but he is the backup. He's not injured. Adam Hearns is the starting QB now, and that's interesting to see. Adam Hearns again was in the same class as Jake Zimmer. Breece Hall at halfback. They have DK at wide receiver. You got Chase Claypool, DJ Chark, a bunch of very tall wide receivers. Pat Freiermuth. Their O-line looks pretty decent. They got Lane Johnson. Their D-line looks pretty solid. They got Azeez Al-Shaair. They got Levante David. Donnell Irons, who is a rookie. And their corners are pretty decent. They got Jabril Peppers at free safety. Ruben Gray as a backup free safety. He's a rookie. And they get Jordan Whitehead. 1st and 10, we're in the gun. And they're running it on the first play with Breece Hall. And Breece Hall taking it for a first and more, getting 17 yards on the first carry. Again, Isaiah Simmons is going to need to force a lot of turnovers for us. And so is Tariq Woolen if we're going to get some dev upgrades for the two of them and some experience as well. Need to force a lot of turnovers on this offense, even though they have some weapons. And it's play action here. Throwing the pass, and it is caught. It's a nice throw to the left corner by Adam Hearns. We got Nathan Walls playing back right now, and we're bringing Isaiah Simmons on a blitz. See if we can pick up some pressure with him. We're watching over the middle. Finally, it's completed, and they throw down Christian Harris. Breece Hall almost picking up the first down. It's going to be 2nd and 2 now. On 2nd and 2, they're in single back in a very balanced formation. You got Chark out on the right, and it looks like it's going to be a jet sweep. Oh, we whiff on the tackle. Tariq's got to get there. Tariq cannot get there in time, and they take it for the touchdown. And so the goal of holding them under 100 offensive yards, I don't think that one's happening. They're scoring with ease so far, so really what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to force turnovers. And DJ Chark takes that all the way for the TD, and he is going very fast at 6'4". I did not know he was that fast. Now, what's the offensive goal for the game? It is to get our #1 running back, Lionel Hebert, going. Brian Jackson on the return here. Brian Jackson's been playing outstanding, especially in that Bears game where he had a, 90-yard receiving touchdown down the seam. But yeah, we got to bring Hebert out here and get him going offensively, get him above 3 yards per carry for a game. Again, Hebert had such a successful second half of the season last season. Looking to see if we can get him more involved in a good first running lane. Great blocks, getting up a first down on the first play. That's what I love to see. Building up that confidence for Hebert. Running a little play action here. Zimmer's had some issues with some turnovers. The goal right now is to get 4 offensive scores. Great catch by Jamison. Might be a little bit risky here. Running a halfback dive. And take it out to the right. And I was not expecting to get that good of blocks out on the right side. I guess it was a one-on-one. I should have taken it. It's going to be 2nd and 7 now. Doing a little bit more play action here with Hebert. And we do got the pass over to Kupp. He cannot get his feet down. Kupp couldn't get his feet down, so it's going to be 3rd and 7 now. We got our main weapons on the field. Got Kupp underneath. Kupp able to pick up the first down. A big catch and run after the catch by him. After getting tackled by Levante David, we do have the first down. That's Kupp's first catch of the game. We got Brian Jackson in now, and we're going to try a little run with Brian Jackson on the counter. We got good blocks, and we kind of took a little bit too long to get going there. We got Posey out there. I do not really know why Antoine Andrews is not in right now. Underneath, Brian Jackson is wide open. Calvin Austin on a great block. A good first down pickup by Brian Jackson. We got Cooper Kupp in the backfield here, doing something a little bit unique. I like to get him some touches running the ball every couple times per season. Got great blocks, though. Ramondre with the lead block. Oh, but it went outside. Cooper fumbled it, but luckily Ramondre fell on it. Doing a great job recovering that football and keeping the drive alive. Again, I don't know. Cooper would not be fumbling that IRL. Got him in the backfield again. We're not going to run it this time. Looks like they have a bunch of linebackers on the field, so we're going to see if we can get Cooper matched up with a linebacker, and he actually has a safety on him. And we try to throw it away. It's a fumble instead, and I'm not sure we're going to be able to get back to him. And that would be a huge... Oh my god, yeah, it's going to go all the way. They're celebrating, and that's going to be a 14-0 lead. That has happened already once this season where a fumble has been returned for a TD against us. And, yeah, that's unbelievable. Got to get rid of the ball faster, I suppose. So far now, we're not living up to either aspects of what we're trying to accomplish to get upgrades for Tariq or for Isaiah Simmons. Letting Ramondre get a little run here after recovering that fumble, and he picks up only 2 yards on the play. On 2nd and 8, we're bringing Hebert in here, and already Levante David is an X factor. We're going to run right at him because we're not afraid. Yeah, great blocks, taking it up the middle. Hebert getting up to the 32. Already having a great start to the game. Being pretty balanced on offense, running the football and passing. Throwing it underneath to Hebert here. Getting him involved in the pass game. Getting one stiff arm off before eventually getting tackled, only for a gain of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 now. And this looks like it might be a zone. We might be able to attack the seams here. And it is maybe man, but Posey's open regardless. That was some like really lackadaisical man where they just like were not playing the go route. But we're running a little bit of mesh here. Cooper open underneath. They kind of went with Brian Jackson instead. Cooper picking up a couple yards. That was the end of the first quarter, so now we're into the second quarter. 2nd and 3 from the 40, and we've been really passing underneath quite a bit. We're going to try to take a shot here. We got Cooper one-on-one, and we got time, and he's able to beat him one-on-one. Can't get into the end zone, down at the 1-yard line. A great pass from Jake Zimmer. Now the question is, who do we give the ball to? And I think we got to give it to Hebert. It's going to be a read option, but we'll let Hebert keep it, and he got a free lane for the touchdown. Hebert's been playing so well so far, but yeah, getting him the touchdown is nice, and now Jake Zimmer is also an X factor. Now we're only down by 1 touchdown to the Niners, but we need to get some turnovers on defense. All right, it is 1st and 10. We're in big nickel now, and they're in sort of like a stretch formation here with 2 tight ends on the right side. They're going to run it left, and we come down and try to get the tackle with Baron Browning. Breece Hall finally goes down, almost picking up the first. All right, we're on 3-4 Bear here. We got Nathan Walls backing up. Again, in the same formation for the Niners. They're going to run it again with Breece Hall. Breece Hall finally gets tackled by Christian Harris after picking up the first. All right, we're bringing Walls down into nickel. Again, it's kind of like having a corner, safety, and linebacker on the field in the nickel spot all in one. They're in the gun now. We're watching underneath. Hearns has got so much time here. Eventually just throws it away. And I'm feeling like we got to bring some pressure because Hearns has not been feeling it at all. And so we're going to send Walls on a blitz here. We got Hall in the backfield. It's in gun again. We're watching on the crosser to DJ Chark, and it's caught. He beats Ryan Neal one-on-one. And we were playing that route too, but we still couldn't get out to it, unfortunately. Gun again here, but it's going to be empty for Hearns. Watching the short out by the tight end. Instead, it's over the top, but it's a fumble. We fall on it. Tariq gets it. A great hit leads to the fumble by DJ Chark. And that's 1 turnover on the books now. In pistol now on 1st and 10. Again, Jake is an X factor. We're throwing it out one-on-one, and Posey can't come up with it. Gonna run a little counter play out of weak here with Hebert. Got Cup on the left to block. Got good blocks. Hebert picking up some yards after the stiff arm, picking it up to the 25. All right, 3rd and 5 now. We got Brian Jackson in the backfield. What we're going to do is we're going to send him out on the seam again. We don't got a lot of time. It looks like it's going to be a man. Instead, it's actually going to be zone, and Jackson is open. He holds on to it for the first. A great catch. And that's kind of one of the things I like about Jackson, having him in the backfield, is I can slot him out wide, and he has a little bit of a mismatch if there's a linebacker on him. A great run here by Jackson again, getting up to the 35. Again, we like to use Jackson in short spurts. He provides a lot for the run game and for the receiving game. He's already done so well as a rookie. But Hebert is our workhorse, our power back. He does a little bit of everything for us. He can catch the ball despite his ratings not being that high. Oh, we got some pressure. We might need to throw it away. Trying to toss it up. Oh, and we can't get it to Jamison. A good try there by Jake trying to extend the play, but it was a little bit risky. Here, though, The double move to Jamison is usually pretty open. I don't see it this time. We got some time to run outside of the pocket. We have a receiver over the middle, Calvin Austin. Can he get in the end zone? And he does. A great pass, extending the play with his legs. Jake Zimmer to Calvin Austin for the touchdown. And the Niners did not do a great job on defense there in contain. They did not do a great job at all on Jake Zimmer there. Bringing Ryan Neal down in run support. Breece Hall finally going down. They've had a lot of success running the football with Breece Hall. Kind of surprised they haven't really stuck to it a little bit more. Again, we've only forced that one turnover so far with Ryan Neal on the fumble. Breece Hall running it again. Finally get taken down. It's going to be 3rd and 3. On 3rd and 3. But we're going to bring a man blitz here. I'm thinking that might be play action out of I form here. Instead, it is a straight-up run, and Breece Hall does pick up the first. We're dropping back into regular 3-4, and we have Sean Hazelwood out in coverage here on the right side. I'd like to see him contribute in some meaningful way for us. Watching over the top, and a pass, and it's going to be caught in bounds by Freiermuth. Freiermuth doing a great job tiptoeing on the sidelines. I did not think that Adam Hearns was going to look to slot that ball in, but he still did. We got 3 receivers out left now, and Damon Clark dropping back in coverage. It's a screen. Hazelwood trying to get on it, and eventually he does make the tackle. A great play by him. It's going to be 2nd and 6 now after the screen pass. And we got Walls again dropping down, playing underneath coverage. Again, forcing Hearns out, and Hearns makes the pass again. Hearns 7 for 8 so far, playing really well, very patient. Despite only being a 70 overall and being the backup to Trey Lance primarily in his rookie season. Throwing it underneath again. Hall. Wall's trying to make that tackle there, but they're getting out of bounds pretty quickly here, conserving a lot of time. Still have a minute and a half left. They haven't used a single timeout. Throwing it over to the side again. Browning missing the tackle. DK with the catch. We're going to need to make them think a little bit more. We're going to get into cover 2 and play some underneath coverage. And Hazelwood's going to drop back into coverage as well. Try to contain a little bit. Over the middle. A great hit on DJ Chark by Damon Clark. Unfortunately, they are now at the 3-yard line, though. We're going to watch the read option. Oh, they call it timeout. It's interesting. We're going to watch the read option. We got to worry about a QB draw, but they're in the gun right now. Got to worry about a throw outside. Again, just making the pass over the middle of Freiermuth, and finally making the tackle is Christian Harris. Now it's going to be 3rd and goal. Now it's going to be 4th and goal. Oh, that was a touchdown. Oh. Huh. I did not think that he got in there. On that drive, Adam Hearns was 7 for 7 for 60 yards in the TD. Just unbelievable. Good block setting up. Jackson almost able to get to the left edge and make a little bit more out of it, but only getting up to the 20-yard line, bringing the offense back on the field. And we do trust this offense to potentially make a play here with 50 seconds left. We got all 3 of our timeouts. Don't want to sell ourselves short here. Jake Zimmer is in X Factor. Send Cooper Kupp on a go. We got Jamison underneath. Perfect accuracy again, but instead it is picked. And that is the worst case scenario. But again, I don't understand how that's an interception. I really don't. You know, it's a throw underneath that I make pretty consistently. It's an overthrow to the safety instead of throwing it to Jamison. When he's in X Factor, we're going to have to change our X Factor. Because I don't know how he's overthrowing a wide open receiver when he is supposed to have perfect accuracy with dots on. Watching underneath with Walls. DK catches it. DK forcing people to miss. Eventually down at the 33. Just kind of threw Christian Harris off of him, I think. Again, just picking apart this defense underneath. They're just throwing a lot of stuff short right now. Dropping back into coverage. Not getting pressure on Hearns. Hearns is going to scramble, trying to force the fumble here. Hearns making multiple people miss, breaking several tackles, picking up 16 yards on the carry. And again, I'm struggling to understand how they're getting so open and how Hearns is making so many, great decisions. Watching the short pass here to DK. DK catching it and picking up the first down. They have one more timeout. There's 16 seconds left, and they decide to use it. They're in strong. And we got to worry about the run, but we also got to worry about the scramble a little bit as well. Watching underneath. Hearns running outside. Surtain trying to make the tackle. Breece Hall finally down at the 2, and they're not going to get another playoff. A bad decision by Hearns that time, and that keeps us into a one-possession game at half. All right, coming out this half, Jake Zimmer's going to have to play a lot better. Again, you know, he was playing flawlessly before that interception. Again, when you have, or you're supposed to have perfect accuracy, I can't fault him for turning the ball over. It's just not supposed to happen in that situation. Jamison picking up almost the first down, getting 6 yards on the carry. And like what I mean is, you know, when he has dots active and he's got Jamison wide open underneath on a crossing route, that has to be a first down. Like, it has to be. It cannot be an interception. All right, 3rd and 3. We got Cooper being pressed on the outside, and he does beat his matchup. We're going to give it to him one-on-one before the safety can get there. Cooper does catch it down at the 25. A great catch. A great throw, but it was almost lofted too much where the safety got a chance to make a play on the ball. Ramondre on the carry, going out right, following his block, doing a great job picking up that first down. Ramondre getting a lot more involved than he has previously in its offense. And I think that's partially because Hebert struggled a little bit. We need somebody else to take some of the carries sometimes. But if Hebert is going 100%, going out to the right, and this time Ramondre with a loss. What I was saying, though, was, you know, if Hebert's playing at 100%, we want him to get all the carries, though. That's basically what we're looking for. Yeah, Jackson underneath, unmarked, picking up some yards, getting down to the 8-yard line. Again, they're showing double A gaps. We're going to send Jackson out here and have him go on an in route. We're dropping everyone back in coverage. We got Posey out to the right, and we also had Calvin Austin, but it's going to be an overthrow. Because it's 4th and 5, we're going to go ahead and take the field goal here. It's unfortunate, though. We had 2 receivers wide open, almost missing that field goal. 2 receivers wide open in the back right corner of the end zone. All right, 1st and 10. They're in single back here, and we need to do a much better job containing Hearns. Again, we've been in contain quite a bit. On the run here, Hall doing a nice job cutting it back upfield, picking up 3 yards. Going to make it 2nd and 7 now. Now they're in the gun with Hall in the backfield. They got Chark and DK out to the right. Another run play for Hall. Hall picking up the first. Oh, not quite. He actually stutter stepped a little bit, and Surtain laying a hit on him. It's going to be 3rd and inches now. Bringing a man blitz, but we're going to also contain a little bit here. Watching out for any short passes, but Freiermuth gets wide open immediately. One of their O-linemen comes down with an injury. They're getting a lot of really short yardage passes off, making it really difficult to stop them from picking up, you know, short first downs. Need to make it a long 3rd down situation. Hall finally brought down. It's going to be 2nd and 9. Pat Freiermuth coming down, holding his knee on the ground. It's a big development. He's been kind of just destroying us on 3rd and short situations. Chase Claypool out to the right with DK here. A run up the middle by Breece Hall, and Tariq getting thrown off. It's going to be 3rd and short again. Hall averaging 5.8 yards per carry. We're going to drop back into cover 1 here. We got to play up close on the line of scrimmage. And they're running it again. Isaiah Simmons missing the tackle. Breece Hall picking up the first down. Oh my God. We met Breece Hall at the line, actually behind the line with Isaiah Simmons, and he could not get the tackle off. It's going to be 1st and 10 now. We're bringing a man blitz. Got Damon Clark back here. Watching underneath again. Surtain missing the interception attempt, which, again, he had no chance of getting that pick there. And DK taking it all the way for the touchdown. And our defense is struggling to stop this Niners offense, which is not all that great with a 70 overall QB who is just dissecting us on short, like, you know, 3rd down situations, just keeping each drive alive. We've got to get off the field. 7 plays for 80 yards and a touchdown in 2 minutes. Not doing much. Again, the offense coming back out here. Cooper Kupp so far having a fantastic game. No touchdowns, but 100 yards receiving. And Parker is going to be out with a dislocated ankle. Not what I'd like to see. But we're going to bring Hebert in here. We're going to run a little read option. Or actually, we're going to run a little power option. 1st and 10. We've had a lot of success on the ground. We're going to run a power option here. Got to throw it off immediately. Trying to truck and not getting it to work. It is going to be 2nd and 6 now. Running another option play. We're actually going to switch it to a dive here out of pistol for Hebert. Some good blocks. We get it up to the 28. Make it 3rd and manageable. On 3rd and 5. Yeah, Brian Jackson back as our receiving back. We got him one-on-one matchup with the linebacker, and we get the throw off. It almost could have been picked off. They had 2 people on him. Able to pick up the first down. We're going to run a little no-huddle now. Got Posey potentially wide open. See if he can come up and grab it. And he holds on to it, but no, it gets knocked away by Awuzie, I think. He was going to moss the first player, but ended up getting hit a second time while in midair. And that is definitely a hard catch to make. We're going to have to throw this one away. They're all over the halfback screen. Now we're in a 3rd and 10 situation, and we got all of our receivers on the field here, and this looks like it might be man. We're going to send Cooper on a slant for a man beater, and Cooper has it wide open. We've got time, and it's an inaccurate. It says good accuracy, but it's an incompletion. I don't understand that. We have been screwed over now twice in situations like that where we had the receiver open, but it's an inaccurate ball. And even though it says it's good accuracy, and this punt is going to go down at the 28. Yeah, we had Cooper wide open on the slant, and it was just a bad ball by Jake Zimmer, and Jake Zimmer already had one situation like that earlier. Throwing the underneath, finally tackling Freiermuth down is Isaiah Simmons. It's going to be 2nd and 6, but Nate Vasher has come down with an injury, and that is our 2nd injury of the game at D tackle, with Dontrell Parker already being ruled out with a dislocated ankle. So now we're back to our super backup D tackles. 3rd and 5, though. And it looks like Nate Vasher will be coming back in shortly here, but we've got to get off the field on 3rd and 5 from the 33. We've got to get off the field. DK is an X factor. And get into cover 2 here. It's risky. We switched late. Got underneath, and they pick up the first with Chase Claypool. So far, Hearns is 18 for 19 here, and we've got to get him off the field now. We just have to. Yeah, Ronnie Harrison in. Watching underneath, we could have had the opportunity for a pick. Instead, it's a broken tackle, and Claypool's taking it down the sideline. Going to be a touchdown. No one's going to get to him. And that is 35 on the board. And, again, a bunch of mistakes that should be avoided. You know, I don't know how we don't get an interception there. We got 2 people standing on top of Claypool, and instead Stokes mixes the tackle, and Tariq can't get to him. Takes it for the touchdown. And, again, we've already been in 2 situations where we've had, like, bad balls thrown by Jake Zimmer where they were wide open. And this has just been a completely one-sided game in the 50-50 sort of situations. All right, we're going to try to abuse Brian Jackson out of the backfield a little bit, get a mismatch with him again. And send him out wide. He's matched up with a safety. Got a one-on-one. And caught by Brian Jackson. A great catch. He got bumped off, I think, about like 10 yards down the field. They didn't call it, though. Get Cooper wide open. We also had Calvin Austin out wide, who was just streaking downfield, probably against cover 2, and it was. But we couldn't get it to him. Jamison's got a one-on-one where he's being pressed on the outside. He gets bumped, though. Instead, we got to throw it away. Charles Leno just had an injury, so we've got a backup at tackle now. Our little read option here, and they bite on it. Jake Zimmer is not going to keep it here. We're going to slide down, and we're down at the 36, and we've got to score quickly here, because we've not shown that we can get a stop. We've got to get one on our next possession. Calvin Austin coming back for the ball. It's going to be incomplete instead. And Leno is out with a bruised sternum. I'm hoping this is cover 2. It looks like it's man. Instead, it is cover 2. We've got Jamison on the outside. Instead, it's going to be batted away. Jamison got knocked off his route. And so it's going to be 3rd and 10 now instead. And we've got to pick up yards here. We're going to run a little fake jet sweep and get a run to Brian Jackson here. And it's a little unorthodox. And we should pick up some yards. That wasn't as successful as I would have liked it to have been. On 4th and 7. Got Posey out to the right. He is wide open, but we throw it a little bit early, and instead it's batted away. And the Niners get the ball back. Niners get the ball back. We're down by a lot. We got to get a stop. They could just run it here. And we are trying to sell out on the run, and they still pick up 4 yards. They still pick up 4 yards when we're selling out on the run. And they're chewing clock. Running it up the middle again. Again, we have mostly our backup D tackles in right now. We got Shelby Harrison. Watching underneath. They're running again with Breece Hall. Breece Hall gets taken down just short of the first. It's going to be 4th and inches from the 43, and they are going to punt it. Probably should be going for it if I'm being honest, but they're going to end up punting it here. We've allowed 400 yards almost of offense. Again, only 1 turnover off that fumble forced. Ty McCollum on the recovery. Very dangerous fielding that at the 4-yard line. 1st and 10. We got Brian Jackson underneath. And that is not going to get us anywhere with this much time remaining. We've got to push the ball up the field. We got Cooper getting open finally. Again, after getting hit on his route that he's running. Eventually out of bounds at the 25. To be 1st and 10 from the 25 with 3.5 minutes to go. We've got to score very quickly here. We got Juwan Johnson on a streak. If we can snap the ball. And we got to throw it away again. We can't, and we're taking a sack. On 2nd and 25 now, we're just shooting shots downfield at this point. We got Posey potentially open here. Instead, it's going to be knocked away. 3rd and 25. On 3rd and 25, we got a play set up for Jamison to see if he can get open, and a really inaccurate pass from Jake Zimmer. No pressure, just a bad delivery from Jake Zimmer. 4th and 25 now, and we're punting it from our own 9. They're going to return it here from the 45, and McCollum here eventually taken down by Ryan Neal. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 47, and they're going to be running the football again. We already know they are. Just depends on what side they're going to be running it to. They're going to be running up the middle. Christian Harris with the tackle. 2nd and 11 now, and we know out of I form they're going to be running the football again. And commit to this being a run. And we're down here. We're covering everything, and Baron Browning taking him down. 3rd and 9 now. They're in the gun again. It probably is going to be a run because they're trying to burn clock, but I can see it being a pass as well. We cannot all-out commit to this being a pass play. Instead, it is going to be a pass, actually. Hearns can scramble. Oh, my God. Did he pick up the first? It's 4th and inches. From the 44, they're going to go for it here. And with 3 seconds left, they're going to give it to their fullback, Blossom game. He picks up the first. And they're running clock. And we lost to an 0-3 team, 35-17. They could not be stopped on offense at all. Breece Hall taken down at the 39. What really just sickens me, though, is that Adam Hearns came in and had a great game against this defense. He had a perfect passer rating, 19 for 20 for 270 yards, 3 TDs, and no picks. Jake Zimmer should have had a much better game, but for whatever reason, when he had wide open receivers, he was just throwing inaccurate passes. His one interception was Jamison underneath open on a crosser that just went too far, despite the fact that he was in X Factor. I just don't get that at all, how that could ever be an interception. Running the football, Breece Hall, 18 carries for 72 yards. Hebert didn't get a chance to run the ball all that much. Ramondre ran it a couple times. Jackson ran it a couple times. We quickly had to stop running the football because, we got down by too many points. We could not get a single stop on defense. DJ Chark eventually getting that one 40-yard run out for the touchdown to start the game. Receiving-wise, Kupp, leading the way with 130 receiving yards. Metcalf with the TD. Claypool with the TD. Jackson being our second leading receiver again. And he got a lot of his catches earlier in the game. Calvin Austin, 1 catch. Posey, only 1 catch for 20 yards. Jamison, only 20 yards receiving off of 2 catches. And Hebert with 1 catch as well. Defensively, it's not going to be pretty. We didn't force a turnover besides that 1 fumble. We got no pressure on Hearns. We got 0 sacks. We got 1 tackle for loss from Christian Harris, who also led the team in tackles. Again, I don't even know why I'm looking at interceptions. We did not get one. We forced 1 fumble with Ryan Neal, and that was it. All right, we got some upgrades after the game. Despite the fact that we got destroyed, Kyron Johnson with an upgrade. He didn't really play at all. We're going to upgrade his pass coverage because just trying to make him a more balanced linebacker. He cannot just be sitting back with no coverage ability. Boosting that up a little bit. Rashad Wildgoose getting an upgrade. Going to just try to boost his overall, get him up to a 70. Right now he is at a 68, getting a boost to press, man, and play rec. Brian Jackson getting an upgrade, which is what I love to see. His receiving stats are already pretty high up there. We're going to boost his receiving stats a little bit more. We're going to get him to an 80 overall at least, because that gets him the opportunity to potentially get star dev. That boosts his agility, ball carrier vision, change of direction, juke, and short route, which is great. Joel Bitonio getting another upgrade. We're going to just try to get his overall up. He also is just he's very well balanced, so getting him up to a 92 overall, boosting his impact block, his lead block, and his pass block finesse. All right, looking at the messages, these are going to be depressing. yeah, so Isaiah Simmons did not get Superstar X Factor, which is horrible. Tariq did not get anything. He did not force any turnovers. So he's not going to get a development upgrade or like a lot of experience for that game. Again, losing to a 1-3 team. QB1 check-in. Yeah, this is also not going to be great for Jake Zimmer with 1 TD, 1 pick. And it wasn't, again, I don't really think it was his fault. He had an outstanding game. He just had 1 bad pass that resulted in that interception. The one injury is to Dontrell Parker, who's going to be out for 7 weeks as our number 1 D tackle with that dislocated ankle. So yeah, it wasn't a ankle sprain, it was a dislocation. And so he's out for a significant amount of time this season. We're probably going to have to put him on IR. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. That was a frustrating game against the Niners. I cannot lie. But thank you so much for watching, those of you guys who stuck all the way through the video. Next week, we're going to be playing against the Vikings. And we're going to talk a little bit about some of the upcoming college players and kind of like the upcoming draft. We've already kind of looked at some of them. We're going to look at them a little bit more. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and peace.